I took in my sister's kids after she died. Now her ex-husband wants to play dad after abandoning them for 2 years, and he's threatening to take me to court for parental alienation because they don't want to see him. My sister Ellie died from cancer 2 years ago, leaving behind her 8-year-old son and 5-year-old daughter. In her final weeks, she begged me to raise them, since their father had disappeared 6 months earlier when her diagnosis turned terminal. I promised her I would never imagining how completely he'd vanish from their lives. No calls, no birthday cards, no child support. Nothing. For 25 months I've been everything to these kids. I moved into my sister's house to maintain their stability. I learned to braid hair and coach Little League. I hold them through nightmares about losing their mom. I've built a life around their healing, working remotely so I can be home when they need me. It hasn't been easy. Their grief counselor says they're finally showing signs of stability. Lily no longer has panic attacks when I leave for the grocery store. Noah has stopped hoarding food in his bedroom, afraid it might disappear like everyone else he's loved. Yesterday I opened the door to find their father Derek standing on the porch with a woman I'd never seen before. Daddy's home, he announced with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. The kids froze when they saw him. Noah stepped in front of his sister protectively. Pave read a gesture that broke my heart because number 10-year-old should feel responsible for shielding anyone. Derek acted like he'd just returned from a weekend trip. He introduced the woman as his new wife, Melissa, and said they'd bought a house in the suburbs. He talked about the bedrooms they decorated for the kids. We're ready to be a family again, he said, as if he hadn't abandoned his children when they needed him most. When I asked where he'd been for 2 years, he waved it off. I wasn't in a good place after Ellie got sick. I needed time to process. His new wife jumped in. Everyone deserves a second chance. The kids need their real father. Noah looked up at me with panic in his eyes. But Aunt Jamie is our real parent now. That's when Derek's demeanor changed. He said I'd clearly turned the kids against him, that I was jealous of his new relationship, that he was still their legal father and could make things very difficult if I didn't cooperate. Before leaving, he handed me a letter from his lawyer demanding regular visitation, starting immediately with the goal of transitioning the children back to their father's care. Last night, Lily wet the bed for the first time in months. Noah sat outside her bedroom door until morning, afraid his father would come back and take her. I've already called my attorney, but she says that while I have de facto custody, he never legally surrendered his parental rights. The court tends to favor biological parents unless there is clear evidence of abuse, but isn't abandonment abuse. I promised my dying sister I would protect her children. I've built my entire life around that promise. These kids have lost enough. I can't let them be uprooted again by someone who threw them away when caring got too hard. I don't know what Derek's real motivation is. Maybe his new wife wants a ready-made family. Maybe he realized child support would be cheaper than what I could get if I pursued back payments. Or maybe he genuinely regrets his choices, Pink's eye. But the kids are people, not possessions you can set aside and reclaim when convenient. Tomorrow we meet with my lawyer. The children are terrified of being forced to go with him. I am terrified of losing them. Sometimes being family means fighting for those who can't fight for themselves, and that's exactly what I intend to do.